The Persians that come here are pretty smart. Germans are pretty smart. Do Chinese have a cartel over the media?
Nope.
No. Indians? No, I don't think so. Do the Germans have? No, I don't think so. So it's like, you could say that if you test really well, you could be a better lawyer or a better doctor. But owning the media companies is not something you test into. And if it was, we'd have a Chinese cartel running the media. The other point is not just the overrepresentation of the group, it's also that they're in favor of another country.
Exactly. It's not just that they have power, it's that they're putting all their power towards Israel.
Right.
I saw an interesting clip of you a couple years ago. You said something about you don't know if dual citizens should be in government, or the Jewish people. When I first saw that, I thought that was extremely racist and ridiculous. But after September 11th, I've talked to all my Jewish friends, and almost all of them are equally, or I would say most of them are more loyal to Israel than America. And that was really shocking to me. One of them wants to go join the IDF. It goes into a regional war. They'll defend anything they do. They don't care about the USS Liberty getting bombed. It's just kind of shocking. If you have Jewish friends, I recommend you go talk to them about this stuff. You'll be shocked. Not all of them. There's a few of them that aren't, so I'm not going to say all, but the majority of them, I would say, are more loyal to Israel. So how can you have people running our government if they're more loyal to Israel? And what's the cabinet in the White House? I think it's 35% Jews and all the top positions. So it's not just, not the bottom ones. And, Kamala Harris, her husband's Jewish. So you look at this, people that are dual loyalty or more loyal to Israel running American government. And that was a moment to me that was wow.
Well, and that's the conflict of interest, Iran exports rugs, they export carpets. Does anyone have a problem that the Iranians control the carpets? No, because it's carpets. But when you're talking about monopoly on conservative media and you're animating the opposition of the country, which is Republicans and conservatives, well, it actually does kind of matter that you're only pro-America in that industry. In the same way that, we wouldn't, and this is a big problem actually now, we wouldn't want the Chinese making our fighter jets.
No.
Want to know why? Because they're another country. It's a national security concern. We wouldn't want Russians being responsible for our oil, or Saudi Arabia, even for that matter, who's an ally. Similarly, do you want the opinion making for American politics to be controlled by people that have allegiance to a foreign state?
No.
What might be the conflict of interest? It's pretty obvious when you spell it out that way. But the problem is, one, they call it anti-Semitic when you count how many of them run the media. They say it's anti-Semitic when you say that's disproportionate. They say it's anti-Semitic when you say that's a problem, or even insinuate they have another allegiance. And you're really not even allowed to get that far. But when you acknowledge it's factual, we just went through the facts. Breitbart, Daily Wire, PragerU, Fox News. These are some of the biggest ones. They all have something in common. We can acknowledge it's a conflict of interest. So just on a factual, logical basis, we could say that's a problem. But every step, they would try to put that kind of mental block of anti-Semitism in your path. You don't even get that far.
Yeah, they hurl the thing. And it worked so good to say no one want to be called an anti-Semite. But then you're like, okay, what is an anti-Semite? What does it mean?
Right.
Now the definition is always changing, they say, and only a Jew can decide.
Yes.
So I think more and more people are realizing it's a complete joke. Also, they're the only race that has their own word for racism. Why not just call it racism?
Right.
They have their own word they make up for it. It's kind of crazy. And it's always changing. It can mean whatever. Did you see Thomas Massey's one of the few guys actually that was trying to ban dual citizens, and his wife mysteriously died.
Yeah, I saw that.
Really sad because Thomas seems like a great guy. I've chatted with him a little. He seems like an amazing politician. So that's just that's terrible.
Yeah. Well, who knows? I mean, it's possible.
No, I'm certainly not saying.
But it is.
They killed her. But
interesting.
I think he said something like she was healthy, and he mentioned she wasn't vaccinated.
Yeah, and she
I
wasn't
think the fact
old
that he
either.
mentioned that she wasn't vaccinated means he has little suspicion.
She was a young woman. So I believe she was in her 50s.
Yeah, I know. And young
unvaccinated 50-year-old women with no
typically
issue.
don't
and
drive
just
well.
drop dead. Yeah.
No, it's when you see stuff like that. Certainly I'm not making any accusations.
Right.
But it puts it in the back of your head that it could be. These people are known for assassinations.
They are. They're very well known for that. It's their specialty.
Yeah. Backtrack real quick. Talk about Chocolate Charlie Kirk. It was interesting. I was in Chicago at Turning Point. And I got you, I was in there and I grabbed you a pass. I'm like, oh, Nick, come by. You're like, oh, no, I don't think I can come. I'm like, oh, no, I got you a pass. Come through. You showed up. We go walking through. Security rushed out, 15 security, escorted you out. I was so confused. I'm like, well, I guess I was wrong about that one. Sorry.
Yeah, right.
It was insane the reaction they had for just walking you in with a pass that I had. I got you one of my passes for the booth I was at. And they threw you out. They said they're going to arrest you for trespassing. It's just, again, it just shows you the threat you are. So what was your... Do you have a long feud with Charlie Kirk, or what was that?
I
That
do,
really
yeah.
surprised me, that reaction.
Well, yeah, Kirk and Shapiro are slightly different, but, back in 2019, he was doing this big campus tour. He was going to all the college campuses, giving doing a speaking engagement. And he would go to these different events, and he's supposed to be one of the more right-wing guys. Shapiro's more of your traditional conservatives. Charlie Kirk was really more MAGA-aligned, a little more nationalist. So this is coming from maybe the most right-wing element in the mainstream. And he would go to these events, and he would say things like, we need to bring in 50 million legal immigrants. I'm like, yeah, that's not really super conservative. And he would say, this was the one which is totally outrageous. He went to some kind of fundraiser with Zionists because I forget the organization, but the step and repeat banner behind him, it was in Hebrew, it was some pro-Israel group. And he's speaking in front of them, and he said that when it comes to the United States, he said, we're unique because although he loves the country, loves the Grand Canyon, and he loves the topographical features and so on. He said you could wipe out the United States tomorrow, and if you went to a desert island and you had the Constitution, he said that would be America.
Wow.
Get rid of the people and the land.
When did he say this?
He said this years ago, probably 2018, 2019. But here's the but. He said, so with the United States, we're unique because we are all about the Constitution. People don't matter. The land that we love doesn't matter.
People don't matter.
It's all about the paper. Which is not true, by the way.
I think our land matters. I would strongly disagree. I think our land matters, and I think the people matter.
Totally.
A lot. I guess they don't because they're just flooding them across the border.
Well, and Liberia has our Constitution. They're not doing
No, exactly.
So hot,
I think the people matter quite a bit.
Right.
And our land is pretty amazing here. I think we're the most beautiful country in the world.
Right. Well, we're a nation, Well, and here's the important part. He goes, Israel is not like that. He goes, because the Israelis have a connection to the land. He goes, you take away the land from Israel, it's no longer Israel. And it's like, hang on a second. So the American people can be replaced by immigration.